Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. I'm V Cold and welcome to my space. Okay guys, so by the title, you know we're mostly going to be using Fenty products to accomplish this face, which I'm really excited about because I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to go about applying the cream blushes, just in case anyone out there's a little nervous when it comes to the cream blush. If you want to buy it but you're like, damn, I don't know how I'm going to use it. Well, I'm going to show you how I'm going to use it, and maybe my technique will work for you also. So the first thing we're going to do is put some gloss on these lips. So I'm going to be using the Pro Kisser Luscious Lip Balm, and this is called Hint Hint. And it's so cute. It smells so good. So, and it feels good. We're gonna jump and start our brows. And to do my brows, I'm going to be using the Fenty Brow MVP pencil, and I have it in the shade brown black, just for reference for anyone out there. Well, I already went ahead and I moisturized my face, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of powder on my brows, simply because at times you get the moisture onto your brows and that can affect the way your brows come out. You don't want your brows to feel oily at all, so I'm just gonna pat a little bit of my Laura Mercier translucent powder onto my brows, very little. Now, I don't get my brows professionally done, so what I like to do is I like to create the shape, clean it up, and then fill it in. If any of you guys are wondering why I don't get my brows professionally done, it's simply because they stopped growing. Ooh, this is really nice. This applies really nice. I don't want to feel that pressure of I have to do my brows every single day because I don't have any brow hair. So I stopped getting my brows done because of that. If that makes sense to anyone. So yeah, that's my reason. And I kind of feel like with the power of makeup, you can literally create the brow shape, the brow shape, or even the brow that you want. You know what I mean? Like, you can kind of take that pressure off of yourself of feeling like you have to always get your brows done or have them be this perfect brow all of the time, because you can create that with makeup. Now, eventually I may get into, what is it, dermablading? Is that what it's called? When you get microblading. I might do microblading on my brows, maybe someday, but right now it's just a no for me because I'm not 100% comfortable with doing that. I've seen some people that have gotten it done and I've loved the way it looked on them, but I'm nervous for myself. I'm gonna be using this e.l.f. concealer palette to clean my brows up. They have this one shade here that I'm obsessed with, and I just love the way it looks when I use it to clean up my brows. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna be using this BH Cosmetics concealer brush just to go in and clean it up. So yeah. And for me, because I don't get my brows professionally done, this step happens to be one of the most important steps, because it brings out the definition of my brows and it brings it to life. Do you see that? Like, I didn't have this. I did not have this. And guys, I swear, this is what I do. I call it catfishing my brows. And if you guys really want like a detailed tutorial where I really explain my technique, I have a brow tutorial on my channel. It's one of the first videos I did because I know that there's girls out there who are like me, who maybe don't want to get their brows done, but they feel that pressure of having to get it done because that's the only way they know how to do their brows. Girl, listen, there's a million ways you can accomplish a cute little brow without having to remove hair, especially if you're not growing hair, you know? So, because it reached a point where I was removing brow hair just to maintain a shape. And it was just like, ugh, I don't know. I was getting really frustrated because I felt like I was going like bald. I'm just gonna take a beauty blender and I'm just gonna like go around it and just kind of blend that out. I'm gonna go back into my brows with my Brow MVP product, and we're just gonna start to fill it in now. And I like to start at the end and I work my way into the front of it. Okay, and then the final thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brush and I'm just gonna brush everything into each other. It's my first time ever using this brow product because I ordered it with the recent Sephora sale because I wanted to test it out. And this is a nice product. We're gonna go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel, and I'm just gonna brush it over the brows. And this is just so none of the brow hairs move. So you lock it into place. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to set my brows. So I'm gonna take the same brush from earlier and I'm gonna go back into my Laura Mercier powder, and I'm just gonna take a little bit, a very small amount, and I'm just gonna go over the brows with it, very gently tapping it, nothing excessive, Next up, we're gonna go in with my Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. Now, they do offer different primer options. They have a hydrating one, a mattifying one, and then this one. The reason I chose to purchase this primer is because I am combination, my skin type, but I feel like sometimes mattifying primers can be a little much for me. They can just get a little crazy, a little too drying. So this primer I felt like was that good medium. If you happen to be combination and you feel like when you use a mattifying primer, it just kind of dries your cheek area out a little too much, definitely go for the primers that say they work for all skin types, because what that basically means is they're gonna work to control your oils, but at the same time, they don't have that intense mattifying effect where your cheeks are gonna feel like you can't move them, and that happens to me frequently. Just putting that out there. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down my little T-zone area with the Pore Professionals Benefit Primer. And I love to use this. Just a little bit goes a long way. It's about this much. I'm gonna warm it up between my fingers, and then I'm just gonna apply it right in this area right here. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of color correcting. I'm gonna use my Sephora Bright Future Color Corrector Concealer. I know it's not Fenty. I don't even think Fenty has like color correctors. I feel like they'll have concealers that you can use as a color corrector, but I didn't look through all of their concealers to see if there was a shade I could use. I'm more than sure there is a shade I can use. Let's just dry this down a little bit, and I'm gonna blend it out a little. So if anyone is interested in getting this Sephora Bright Future color corrector, you definitely have to kind of like let this dry down. It's not a watery consistency, but it's a very light consistency. Like, I thought this was gonna go on a little thicker, but it didn't. I don't mind it though. I don't know, I guess that's what I get for having expectations of what the product was gonna be like. Not bad though. Like, under my eye looks good compared to, it's not bad. It's actually a really nice, this is actually a really nice color corrector, because if you think about what my under eye looked like before, this looks good. Like, it looks really nice. The next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put some of my Laura Mercier powder all over my face. This is something I used to do a lot when I was younger doing my makeup, because my skin used to be excessively oily. As my skin type changed to more combination, I don't do it as frequent. But because I did not use a full-on mattifying primer, I did use a primer that's kind of like, oh, I work for all skin types. I just want to make sure I have that extra layer of protection so that I get a really good wear on my foundation. And that's not to say that the primer isn't good, because it's a great primer. Like, I've tried this primer before. It's a good primer, but I just want that extra level of security on my face. So that is why I'm applying some Laura Mercier powder. If you are someone that has excessively oily skin, this is something you should definitely always do. Jackie Aina always talks about doing this. This is something she regularly does. And I kind of feel like she was one of the first people to kind of make it mainstream to put powder underneath your makeup. Now, before I go in with foundation, because I did, use a primer and then I used a powder just to kind of like make sure everything stays, I'm going to be using the Fenty mattifying foundation. I'm going to go in with the Glow Recipe Ultra Fine Mist Watermelon Glow Facial Spray. And I'm just gonna mist my face with it a little bit just to make sure like my skin is still maintaining a level of hydration before I put on that mattifying foundation. This is bomb. This smells so good. So like I mentioned before, we're gonna go in with the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundation. I am the shade 430. Now this can get very drying, which is why I picked the primer that I picked. And even though I put some powder, I misted my face with the Glow Recipe Facial Mist. Again, we're trying to create a good balance between matte and hydration so that your skin doesn't look dry and flaky and you can still move your face while not looking oily. It sounds like a lot, I know, but it is possible. I'm just gonna put about like 2 pumps on the back of my hand. And I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Beauty Sponge. I've been loving this for foundation application. I just love how flat this surface is, and it's just such a cute little bouncy sponge. So I've been loving using it. It's only like, I think $6, so. If anyone out there wants to use a new beauty sponge to apply their makeup, try the e.l.f. one. Like e.l.f. gets slept on a lot, but they got some good stuff. I know that Fenty also has a beauty sponge, but it was sold out when I went to order it, so I was like, whatever. So to conceal, I'm gonna go in with the Pro Filter Concealer, and then I'm the number 420. When these products first came out, the concealer and then the foundation, it was advised that you should go up a shade. So my foundation shade is 430, so they were saying just go up a shade. Your concealer shade should be for 420. One thing I will say is I wish I would have gotten one shade lighter. Like I wish I would have went up 2 shades versus just 1 shade. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I feel like this doesn't give me as much of a highlight under my eye as I want. But it's kind of like that perfect concealer when I want to kind of just do like a chill makeup look where I'm not necessarily enforcing a highlight. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but that's kind of how I feel about this concealer shade. So if you've never purchased this product and you go into Sephora and they say, hey, if you're this foundation shade, just take 1 concealer shade up from your foundation shade. I recommend if you want a highlight, go up at least 2 shades. So we're gonna go ahead and blend that out. Ooh. What I will say is letting this concealer dry down a little bit just makes it so much more pleasant to blend out. Ooh, why haven't I used this concealer in a minute? I haven't used this concealer in a little while, guys. It's been a while since I've actually like used this Fenty concealer. I don't know why. Like, I actually really like it. I'm glad I did a full face of Fenty today. Well, mostly Fenty today. So we're just gonna blend that out. When I first started doing my makeup, blending my concealer used to be like one of my favorite steps of doing my makeup because it just instantly made under your eyes look so good. It was like, ugh, I love the way that looks. So yeah, I'm gonna go in with a little bit more concealer on my lids. We're just gonna blend that out. So now we're gonna go ahead and set under my eyes. So I like to really go in first with a pressed powder, and then I will use a loose setting powder. So I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder. Now Fenty does not have any pressed powders that I know of unless I live under a rock. I don't believe they have any pressed powders. So I'm just gonna go in and take some of this product and I'm just going to gently start to push it under my eye. Just patting it under there. Once you're done with that, I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Pro Filter setting powder, and we're gonna do just a little bit of baking just to kind of make under my eyes pop a little bit more. So I got the shade Honey, I believe. This is the shade Honey, and I got the travel size one because I wanted just to kind of see how I felt about the product before I invested into the full size one. So I'm just gonna go ahead with my beauty blender and I'm gonna pat off any excess, and we're just gonna go ahead and apply it right under the eye. Whoa, like I can literally feel it tightening under my eyes. All right. Let's start the process of taking this off. So I'm just going to gently use this brush. The brush that I use to apply my 360 powder, I'm just going to gently pat that in there to remove it. Just patting it away. Like I'm patting and like gently like swiping it off also. Wow. This is a very drying powder. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go in with my Watermelon facial mist, and I'm just gonna mist my face with it a little bit. Because that was my first time ever using that powder, and it is very it's very mattifying. Like, it literally sucked all of the moisture from under my eye. It was crazy. Like, I wish I could have zoomed in to show you guys. But I am gonna have to use a little bit of it down my nose, just to give me that highlight. I don't want to like switch products and use something a different shade and throw me off, unfortunately. But I'm gonna be very cautious. I'm not gonna like leave it on my nose. I'm just gonna like swish it and then wipe it off. I'm literally just gonna swish it all off. I'm just happy with that powder. I got the travel size because that powder's not for me. It's intense. Like, I watched different reviews about it, and a couple of people were saying like, yo, it really does dry you out, but wow. Wow. I'm gonna use the Fenty Matchstick in the shade Espresso just to do some contouring. Ooh, that might have been a little too much. Yep, definitely a little too much. Yep. Definitely a little too much, but we'll blend it out and make it work. I'm gonna go ahead and mist my face with the Black Radiance Long Lasting Setting Spray. This one gives me really good movement. My face just feels so dry. Why did I use that powder? Let me just fan my face down a little bit. That feels a little better. Oh my God, it's so dry. I'm gonna use my Morphe M108 brush to blend out this cream product. If you're new to my channel, this is like my favorite brush to use when it comes out to blending out any contour cream products that I use. Yeah, I put a little too much. Just blend, 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 blend. That's what we're doing right now, blending. The thing about makeup, blending can save you. And setting spray, if it's a hydrating setting spray, it can save you when you done use the powder that just dried out your under eye like crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and set the cream contour that we did with a bronzer. I'm gonna use my Coco Naughty to set that. The reason I'm not gonna go in with my Black Radiance contour powders to set this is because I just feel like this is just so like, you know, in your face. I'd rather just go in with a bronzer on top of it and just warm it up a little bit more. Okay, so I'm gonna go in now. I'm gonna set my entire face using my Fit Me powder in the shade Truffle, and this is number 362. I'm just gonna use a big brush, and we're just gonna start to push that product into the face. You're gonna notice that I didn't go ahead underneath and do that line of definition. I don't like that. One thing I think is very important is to have like that one powder that you can use to bring all of the different steps you did together and make it one. So for now, we're just gonna leave the face alone. I like the way everything looks. I have no complaints. I'm gonna take the shade Coco Naughty, and we're now gonna go ahead and just apply it onto the lid. Literally using a bronzer on your lid is so easy. It makes doing your makeup literally the easiest thing ever. I feel like bronzer shades also work as really good transitional shades. So if you're ever in a bind and you have an eyeshadow palette and you don't feel like it has any good transitional shades for you, just use your bronzer and it'll do a really good job. Move on to blush, which is like the hot item. They came out with these cream blushes and everyone's really been talking about them. I really feel like they did a really good thing by coming out with these cream blushes. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like cream blushes are the future. So I went ahead and I purchased 3 different shades. I got the shade Summertime Wine. I got Rose Latte, which everybody was raving about, and I also got Daiquiri Dip. Now Daiquiri Dip was like the one shade when I first saw swatches, and I went onto the Sephora website. I saw it. I was like, oh my God, I love that shade. I have to buy it. This is what the shade Daiquiri Dip looks like, in case anybody wants some reference. I kind of feel like this shade, you know, got overlooked a lot. Like, people didn't really take enough time out to just understand that this shade right here is a problem. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And we're going to put it on today because I'm excited about it. So for these cream blushes, I'm going to be applying them using my beauty blender. I just kind of feel like it's the easiest way to do it. I know you can use your fingers, I know you can use a brush, but I feel like the beauty blender does such a good job of just landing on the apple of your cheeks. And it's meant for blending, so I kind of feel like it'd be a great way to blend this into your skin and also to build it up without you feeling like, oh, I made a mistake. Oh wow, this just fell on me. Nice. So let's go ahead and see. I'm going to just dab it in here. You want to dab it and get some of the product onto the brush, onto the beauty blender. And the product is on the beauty blender now, and I'm just going to smile and pat it on just like that. Do you see how cute that applies? Ooh. Ooh, yes, baby. Super cute, right? Super duper cute. So cute. So cute. And just with the beauty blender, I feel like it's more effortless. You like with the brush, you can kind of be a little nervous. Is it gonna blend in correctly? With the beauty blender, you know that's what it's here to do. It's here to blend things into your skin. So just add some product onto the beauty blender and then just pat it right on. I like to smile. Go right at the, you know, the apple of my cheeks. And then in a circular motion, I'm patting it on. And then I'm gonna bring it back. Okay, I'm gonna grab a little bit more. And now we're just gonna do the tip of my nose and the side of my nose. So I'm just gonna pat, 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 just like that. Like, I love blush in this little center area. I just feel like it warms up your face and it just makes you look so cute, so approachable. I'm in love with this color. Wow, this color did not disappoint. We're gonna go ahead now and focus on these eyes. I went ahead and I ordered these Vivid Liquid liners from Sephora as part of my Sephora haul items, and we're gonna be using them today. Now, the one thing I'm realizing about me this summer, and I don't know if it's because of the quarantine or whatever's going on with me, I'm really just into no eyeshadows and just doing eyeliners. Like, that's what I've been doing off camera at home when I'm playing around in makeup. It's just been my makeup language as of lately. I'm gonna do like a white that goes into a pink liner, which will be cute, I feel like. So let's do that. So I'm gonna start on the inner corner. Guys, I can't talk when doing liner, so you guys are just gonna have to watch. I'm sorry, I just can't. All right, let's go. Let's get it, let's get it. I'm excited. This is like a yellowish, this is like a highlighter yellow, guys. This is really nice. Okay, so that's just the blueprint for what we're doing. We're gonna let these shades dry and then I'm gonna go over them. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this eye right now. Just gonna go back over this eye and just intensify it and just kind of get as much color payoff as possible. We're gonna go in with some black mascara because I got some of the pink liner onto my bottom lashes, and we're just gonna gently apply that to the bottom lashes. And I'm just using my YSL mascara to do this. It's one of my favorites. I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips. I'm gonna use a Morphe liner in the shade Bar. Fenty Beauty does not have any lip liners, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply the gloss Sweet Mouth onto my lips. I didn't want to do a lipstick because I just felt like that would just be me doing a lot, because these eyes are just me stepping out of my comfort zone. So, ooh, this gloss is cute. So I just really wanted to keep my lips as neutral as possible. This is a really cute gloss, wow. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my face using my Too Faced Hangover RX setting spray. All right, guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Now, I enjoyed using most of the products. I feel like throughout the tutorial, I spoke on the products I wasn't too crazy about. These Vivid Liquid eyeliners, I really wish they were more pigmented. They were so watered down, so it made it really hard to get the color payoff that I wanted. And then the setting powder. This one right here, baby, whew, I have to figure out how to use this and make it work for me. Just today, the way it dried out under my eye, it really freaked me out and I didn't like that. Other than that, everything else I really loved. The blush, oh my god, that cream blush, guys, look at my cheeks, super cute. The pigment is there, it's not over the top. I really love it. And I think I'm gonna enjoy using all of the cream blushes that I purchased this entire summer. Like, I'm gonna be using them in multiple tutorials, guys. So I hope the technique that I told you guys that I'm gonna be using to apply it is gonna work for you. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this type of content. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in my next upload. And as always, love first. Bye, my babies.